guy who could have easily been somebody we never knew about.
We aren't going to go out and find some guy that's played 10 years and maybe even been to a Super Bowl.
I've never seen anybody be able to handle adversity so well and come to work, be the same guy every day. Really just showed me how to be a pro.
It's so rewarding when a guy gets to the mountain who went all the way up from the bottom of the mountain.
What if I told you, the man who went from bagging groceries for $5.50 an hour would one day stand on the biggest stage in sports and walk away as a Super Bowl champion, a two-time league MVP, and eventually a Hall of Famer? This isn't a Hollywood movie. This is the real-life journey of Kurt Warner, the most unlikely superstar in NFL history. Curtis Eugene Warner was born June 22, 1971, in Burlington, Iowa. At just 6 years old, his parents divorced. He lived with his mother, who worked hard to raise Kurt and his brother, but money was always tight. For young Kurt, sports became an escape. He had a natural passion for competition, whether it was baseball, basketball, or football. And while his family didn't have much, his dream was always bigger than his circumstances. Warner attended Regis High School in Cedar Rapids. He played quarterback, but he wasn't a star that recruiters were chasing. In fact, when his senior year rolled around, only one school showed serious interest: the University of Northern Iowa. No powerhouse programs, no long list of offers, just one chance. When Warner arrived on campus, he wasn't handed the starting job. Far from it. He spent his first 3 years as the third-string quarterback, watching from the sidelines, waiting. Finally, in his senior year, opportunity came. Warner started and lit it up. 2,753 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and a 62% completion rate. Those numbers earned him first-team All-Gateway Conference honors. It wasn't flashy, but it was enough to prove that he could play. And during this time, Kurt also met Brenda Mione, a single mother of 2. She would later become his wife and the backbone of his remarkable journey. After college, Kurt entered the 1994 NFL Draft. But 7 rounds came and went, and no one called his name. Undrafted and unwanted, Warner found himself working at a Hy-Vee grocery store in Cedar Rapids, stocking shelves overnight, earning $5.50 an hour. By day, he bagged groceries. By night, he trained, refusing to let go of the dream. It's here where the underdog legend began to take shape. Because even though the NFL had passed him over, Warner wasn't finished. Warner got a chance with the Iowa Barnstormers of the Arena Football League in 1995. The AFL wasn't glamorous. Smaller fields, faster pace, fewer fans. But Warner turned it into his proving ground. Over 3 seasons, he threw for over 10,000 yards and 183 touchdowns. His quick release, accuracy, and leadership made him one of the AFL's brightest stars. Fans still remember him leading the Barnstormers to back-to-back Arena Bowl appearances in 1996 and 1997. Warner's play didn't go unnoticed. NFL scouts were watching. In 1998, Warner joined NFL Europe, playing for the Amsterdam Admirals. Once again, he shined, leading the league in passing yards and earning a reputation as a smart, efficient quarterback. It wasn't the NFL, but the call was coming. The St. Louis Rams signed Warner in 1998. At first, he was buried on the depth chart as the third-string QB. Nobody expected him to play. But in 1999, everything changed. Starter Trent Green went down with a preseason injury, and head coach Dick Vermeil shocked the football world by announcing that Kurt Warner would be the starter. Fans groaned. Analysts doubted. But Warner never blinked. That season, Warner turned the Rams into the greatest show on turf. Surrounded by weapons like Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, and Torrey Holt, Warner threw for 4,353 yards, 41 touchdowns, and just 13 interceptions. The Rams finished 13-3. Warner won NFL MVP. And in the playoffs, he led them all the way to the Super Bowl. In Super Bowl 34, Warner threw for a then-record 414 yards and 2 touchdowns, earning Super Bowl MVP honors as the Rams defeated the Tennessee Titans in one of the most dramatic finishes ever. From stocking groceries to holding the Lombardi Trophy in just a few years. It was a story too wild for Hollywood. Except, it was true. But Warner's career wasn't a straight line to greatness. In 2000, injuries slowed him down, though he still posted 3,400 yards and 21 touchdowns in limited games. In 2001, he bounced back with a career year, 4,830 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, another MVP award, and another Super Bowl appearance. But this time, he ran into destiny. A young Tom Brady and the New England Patriots stunned the Rams in Super Bowl 36, starting a dynasty and handing Warner a crushing defeat. Then came more injuries. Over the next 2 seasons, Warner struggled to stay healthy. The Rams eventually released him. In 2004, Warner signed with the New York Giants. He began the year as the starter, but was eventually benched in favor of rookie Eli Manning. Once again, it looked like Warner's career might be over. But the underdog wasn't done yet. In 2005, Warner joined the Arizona Cardinals. The franchise was struggling. No history of winning, but Warner brought experience and leadership. At first, his time in Arizona was inconsistent, sharing snaps with young QBs. But by 2007 and 2008, Warner had seized control. In 2008, at age 37, he led the Cardinals to their first-ever Super Bowl appearance. Along the way, he threw for over 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns. In Super Bowl 43, Warner delivered one of the most thrilling games of his career, throwing for 377 yards and 3 touchdowns. Late in the fourth quarter, he hit Larry Fitzgerald for a 64-yard touchdown that gave Arizona the lead. But in the final minutes, the Steelers answered with a dramatic touchdown of their own. The Cardinals lost, but Warner's performance cemented his legacy as one of the greatest underdog quarterbacks in NFL history. After the 2009 season, Warner retired. Warner didn't walk away from the game entirely. He became an analyst for the NFL Network, sharing his insight with fans across the country. He also gave back, serving as a quarterback's coach at Desert Mountain High School and later with college programs. And he and his wife Brenda built a life centered around faith, family, and philanthropy. In 2017, Kurt Warner's journey came full circle when he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.